Strange things the Sumerians knew about. Part 1. They literally knew about a great flood that happened 6,000 years before them, which doesn't make any sense at all. Scientists just recently found evidence for the great flood that happened 12,000 years ago, yet the Sumerians somehow already knew about it. They also somehow knew about the Earth's 26,000 year cycle, which means they literally knew that the Earth tilted 1% every 72 years, which means they knew about the Earth's specific tilt and precision. They also weirdly knew about all the planets in our solar system, even depicting an extra planet they called Nibiru, which the beings that supposedly gave them their knowledge were from. It's also strange to know that all their architecture was in sacred geometrical patterns. They even had specific landing pads for the aircraft of the Anunnaki, which are known as whirlwinds, but I'll talk about this in another video. All the stuff we know about comes from the Sumerian tablets, which are literally sitting at the basements of museums. Supposedly the US government bought for $3 million during the Iraq War, just for them to collect dust.
What's a conspiracy theory that absolutely...
It's a conspiracy theory. Just kidding. There's one I particularly like lately. It's about the cave. There's a cave in South America, among others, but this one is there. A very specific cave. If you find the right people that have navigated this cave before, and only a few people on this planet can, because it's a 15-day foot trip. It's a long walk. 2 weeks. And only with people that know how to navigate it. We know 8% of our oceans. 8. So I can believe that this is true. When you arrive at the other end, there is a city. An entire city completely underground, sealed off by all this cave. And in the city is populated with a civilization that has been on this earth longer than we have, and has survived through the Egyptians, through the giants, through all of those, because it was underground. They don't talk to us much. They don't come up, obviously. Very few people have been down there, but somebody did write a book about it called Lost Horizon. In the book, the city's name was Shangri-La, and he put it on a mountain, but I think it's really underground somewhere. Do you know?
What is the conspiracy that you can tell people that will instantly have them asking questions? Even the most logical, plain Jane who watches the news and is like, yeah, that sounds real. I'll start. The majority of the investigators that saw what was on Anthony Weiner's laptop are dead now. Dead. Suicide by 2 shots to the back of the head, right? Wrong. The Las Vegas shooting is shrouded in mystery. If you look into it for 20 minutes, I guarantee you will see video evidence with your own eyes from people that were there that contradicts what they told us on the news. If you care to look into it. And lastly, a 3rd building went down in 9/11, and a lot of people don't know that. I'm sure you do because you're a smart person. And I know that fires in a few parts of a building can't really make a huge concrete and steel structure concave in on itself, and that's up.
Places in America that the government doesn't want you knowing about. This is the Mickelson Safeguard Complex in North Dakota. This place was originally created in 1975 as a way to deter missiles from the Russians. But here's the weird part. This site cost $6 billion to make. Mysteriously, the site was only operational for a single day. It opened on October 1st, 1975, and then closed down the next day on October 2nd, 1975. Really gonna try to tell me that the government dropped $6 billion on this place just to keep it operational for less than 24 hours? But for real, just look at this place. Like, are you serious? Many people have theorized that this could be a possible headquarters for the Illuminati, given its extremely close resemblance to the pyramid that's commonly associated with them. Also guys, when I was doing research on this place, I clicked on their website, and what came up I can't show on TikTok, but go look it up for yourselves, it'll creep you out.
How come school doesn't fully teach us about one of the oldest recorded civilizations on the planet? I find it crazy that the Sumerians literally only get 3 sentences in our history books when we literally use all the knowledge they gave us. Literally, our calendar based off the moon cycles is what the Sumerians used 6,000 years ago. Oh, and guess what? Even time itself. The 60-12 base counting system used to measure hours, minutes, and seconds is literally what they used. Also mathematics. They even had the first writing system altogether, known as cuneiform. History books mostly only tell us about them making the wheel, but they also had sailboats, strangely advanced sewer systems, agriculture with the use of animal domestication and irrigation systems, even maps with massive trade routes, 3,000 years before the Silk Road. Also jewelry and makeup, even music, and they had more than 20 instruments. Strange is that they don't even credit themselves for all their inventions. They claim it was handed down to them by beings that came from the sky known as the Anunnaki. Part 3. It's crazy to think about that the oldest written text in the world says we were genetically engineered by these extraterrestrial beings. It's even crazier that the story of Adam and Eve was found in the Sumerian text 2,000 years before the Bible. Although in the Sumerian text the story is much different. In it mentions the two main Anunnaki figures, being two brothers, Enki and Enlil. The younger brother Enki is said to have wanted to help mankind after creating them, while Enlil, the older brother, wanted to destroy mankind after using them for their gold mines. Now let's see how this ties into the Adam and Eve story. In the story from the Sumerian text, the tree of knowledge represented the ability to give birth, and Enki, whose name literally means snake, was represented by the snake. Because after we were made, we were supposedly sterile, Enki told Eve to eat from the apple tree, which gave her the ability to give birth. Then this is when Enlil showed up. Weird to see that even in Genesis, God is mentioned to walk and look for Adam and Eve, as if he was in a physical body.
I heard this filter is just showing what the naked eye can't see.
You know, people might think that's crazy, but humans can only see 0.0035% of the spectrum. That's a lot of light out there that we're not seeing. And since everything's made of light, what aren't we seeing? I want to thank the young lady who posted this video, because it really got me to thinking. If the planet Nibiru is real and it's out there, maybe we just can't see it. Aliens could be walking among us and we would never know. Not to mention their extraterrestrial fleet could be over our head at all times. And this would also explain why some people see ghosts when others don't. I think that all those things are most likely real, but I don't think they're a threat. If something was going to happen, it probably would have already. Ideas like this just open my mind and give me something to think about. Shabadoo, Booshkies!
In September of 1995, a man by the name of Phil Schneider was a government-employed geologist and engineer with 20 years experience working on government black projects. He gave a presentation at the Preparedness Expo, in which he exposed the NWO agenda and how it connects to extraterrestrials, presented physical evidence of alien metals, artifacts, and photos to validate his claims. Claimed in 95 there were approximately 131 DUMBs in the US, almost 1,500 more scattered around the world. He said maglev trains connected all the DUMBs, that Area 51 is a complex of underground bases. He also talked of a treaty signed in 1954, granting permission to experiment on humans in exchange for technology, as well as stating there are 11 distinct alien races, 9 of which view humans as food, and 2 that are benevolent. He also said the NWO and alien agenda are one and the same. He was shot by an FBI agent 16 days prior to this presentation, and found dead 6 months later, with piano wire around his neck. It was ruled a suicide. And mind, this was 95.